Hello everyone, it is Lucy and today I am going to be doing a little bit of a cheeky thrift haul. So it's kind of a collection of a few different bits and bobs that I've picked up over the last few months. And I found all of them online via Japanese secondhand slash thrifting slash consignment sites. So I have a few little bits of J fashion that I'm excited to share with you, and I have some other cute little bits and bobs, maybe a couple of slightly fancy pieces that I feel like I got for a real steal. So by all means grab a little snack to munch crunch on, grab a little beveragino and just settle in because I'm excited to show and tell you about the cute bits and bobs I found. Also, if at any point during this video as I'm showing you these cute little bits and bobs, you're kind of like, I wonder how Lucy got all these cute bits and bobs. Well, I can tell you, I got all of these cute little bits and bobs through Buyee, who is partnering with me on this video. Now, I'm sure some of you are familiar with Buyee. I just love the service. And I've actually already been using Buyee and even made a video about them before they reached out to me. So it's a long-term thing. But for those of you who don't know, Buyee is a proxy shipping service. So pretty much anything that you'd want to buy from Japan, you can get through Buyee. Through them, you can shop from a large variety of Japanese websites like Rakuten, Amazon Japan, and for this video, I primarily shop from Mercari and Yahoo Japan Auctions, my little favorite. Essentially, you just use Buyee to shop online, and then the products that you purchase through Buyee will be shipped to their warehouse within Japan. From there, your purchases can be consolidated and shipped to you. And to make sure you're up to date on the latest deals and deals, I'm just gonna quickly cut to the latest Buyee promotions for you. So for March, there's a promotion running for Rakuten Rakama where you can save money on international shipping. You can get a 500 yen off coupon for international shipping, or if it's your first time buying it from Rakama through Buyee, you can get a 50% off coupon for your international shipping. Whether you're really into hunting down some amazing secondhand fashion finds, or you're just into anime figurines or some particularly high quality Sanrio goods, I can absolutely recommend Buyee to you. So I have this little QR code here, but I will also pop the link down in the description box below. And if you sign up using that link, then you can get a 2,000 yen voucher when you use Buyee. Thank you again to Buyee for working with me on this video and also giving me safe passage of my little goods. Big smooches. And let's just jump right into sharing all the cute little bits and bobs. I apologize if you hear any like mild construction noises in the background. They always just seem to start when I film, which is amazing. I love that we're so synchronized like that. It's really cute. I love it. So this first item I'm about to show you is something that I had on my wish list for months. And I got this one from Yahoo Japan Auctions. So let me just show you the thing. Okay, it kind of looks a little crinkled and like not really particularly exciting on screen. But as you can see, it is just a little nylon backpack. In particular, this one is from Longchamp. It's nothing revolutionary, okay, I'm aware. But I feel like if you've watched me enough now, you probably know that while I do like aesthetic and cute things, that is very much balanced out by like practicality and like needs and use cases. Because I am finally, for the first time since Panini, gonna be going traveling soon, which is so exciting. It's like my favorite thing in the world, and I have some like travel content ideas planned. Going on the trip is really fun, but also like planning and kind of optimizing everything pre-trip. This makes me sound a lot more type A than I actually am. And I enjoy spontaneity and doses and things like that, but I just feel like sometimes a little bit of like organizing and planning means that you can have like maximum fun output. Do you know what I mean? And it's like kind of a fun activity to do the prep before you go. Anyway, also say I don't really have like a backpack in my repertoire at the moment, and especially because I have aspirations and plans to do some filming and stuff, I need to carry around like a little bit more than I would if I just took like a little crossbody, you know, with my phone and wallet and whatnot. I need to take like a little mini tripod and some spare batteries and a battery charger and whatnot. So I felt that I needed to take something bigger and something that wouldn't just kill one of my shoulders for wearing all day. So I was looking into different backpacks, and there are lots of very practical backpacks that I know a lot of travelers swear by. However, aesthetically, they didn't speak to me. And so I was trying to find like a compromise because I wanted something that could like hold a decent bit and would be lightweight and I wouldn't have to worry about it, you know, in different terrains, different weathers. And I came across this one. They have a very classic, you know, like French girl-esque vibe to them that I quite like. And specifically, okay, now we're getting into like my real specific, but this is the typical Longchamp bag that you have probably seen. It's like navy with like the little brown tan kind of handle leather. It's very cute. I don't really like it. That brown tan color is just not something that comes up in my wardrobe. I like the other ones that have the like monochromatic like leather panel, or they have ones in like contrasting colors that aren't brown. And then I also kind of liked the idea of like a black one. Again, this is going to sound so silly, but like 7, 8, really 9 months of the year I'm living in like warmer weather, and I don't really wear a lot of black in the warmer weather. So even though black goes with everything and I like it does because it's a neutral, but I know I don't really wear black except for those like 3 months of the year. And where I'm traveling, it's not gonna be winter. It's gonna be warmer weather. I'm not really gonna be wearing black. That's my plan anyway. So I wanted to find something that was going to be more in like the color palette that I typically wear even when I'm not traveling, just like in general. I realize this is very extra. I have talked before that I have like a very like long consumer decision-making process. So yeah, this is very much like a neutral for me. It's like kind of a soft taupey kind of pink color. And on the inside, it's like really kind of spacious. It's almost like buckety. I can't really just keep hitting myself with it. It's really soft, okay? It's not like overly structured, but it's also like really lightweight. Like it barely weighs anything, which is perfect because the only thing this doesn't fit in terms of travel is my laptop, but I don't really take around my laptop with me when I'm like out and about every day. I just take like a water bottle and my wallet and filming equipment and whatever else. And this fits like all of that, plus some extras, and it doesn't like really weigh anything. It has some adjustable straps. And because it's nylon, I'm not really worried about it getting a little bit wet or getting dirty. It's like really easy to clean. It's low maintenance. And I really like these backpacks, but here where I live, they retail for like maybe 150 plus Australian. I got this for $30. Now the real test will be obviously when I travel with this bag to see if it like fits the bill and does all the things I needed to do. So stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already for that, because I'm sure I will talk about that also in equal length when that happens. So next up, I'm going to show you two pieces because they're just kind of variants on the same thing. But this is something which I wasn't really actively seeking out. It just kind of came to me, and by came to me I mean it appeared in the search for the brand that I was looking at, and that is the magic of Yahoo Japan auctions, and also maybe potentially the danger of it, because most of the time I'm actively searching and looking for particular things, but every now and then when I'm just kind of like browsing, I just find some really good like gems that I know I wouldn't have come across otherwise. I was looking under Vivienne Westwood, which, quick moment, RIP, obviously icon, but to anyone watching, if you're into Vivienne Westwood, like fashion, accessories, clothing, whatever it is, Yahoo Japan auctions has such a good range, like a lot better than I think what you would see on eBay or other online secondhand sites. And I got one of the Vivienne Westwood chokers through Buyee. That was like my first experience using Buyee, and I was just like amazed at how I got it for such a good price when they're really popular and their retail is quite high. So every now and then I just kind of like, you know, just check back in on the Vivienne Westwood brand, just like out of curiosity, and I found these. One of them's empty, so I'll put this one down, but I found two pairs of tights. I don't know if they are vintage or not, but they are like sealed. They were unused, perfect condition. I think maybe they're vintage, or at least they don't seem like brand new to me anyway. Like I'm not sure, but I will obviously cut to some clips so you can see what they look like. I was a little bit nervous that they weren't going to fit me 100% because these are manufactured and distributed from Japan, so I'm a little bit maybe taller and a little bit of a different shape than maybe the typical target consumer that these were made for. But these were in the medium to large size, and my measurements were like, you know, borderline very close. So I figured I would just give them a try because they were like 15 to 20 Australian dollars each, which is very much similar / the same pricing if I wanted to buy a pair of like fashion, like patterned tights or something, just in like a department store here or on ASOS or something like that. But both of the styles are obviously very Vivienne Westwood, but both of them kind of work for the like preppy, princessy sort of aesthetic I do in the cool weather, where I do tend to incorporate a bit of black into my wardrobe, and I do wear tights pretty regularly because I like a little, you know, mini skirt, boot, tight, beret, you know. But I do think with some very gentle handling, they do fit, and I do think they look really cute. The pattern shows up really nicely. One of them is more of a diamond harlequin-esque vibe with like the little Vivienne Westwood logo kind of on it. And the other one is like just a diamond pattern, but it has like little silver and pink like glitter across, and I just think it's so cute. And when I saw the preview on the website, I was like, those are just like princessy, preppy dreams and like so unique and different. And again, I was just like crossing my fingers that they would work for me. And I'm just so excited because tights are kind of like a mainstay of my fall winter wardrobe, and I typically just kind of wear like, you know, semi-sheer black plain ones, and I just felt like finding them was such a, you know, like a pleasant delight because they are just so adorable and jazzy. I don't know how to finish that up. So far everything I showed you I got through Yahoo Japan auctions. It's kind of like eBay. You can buy things outright, but there's also like a bidding system. It kind of just depends. I have a whole video about how to use Buyee and more specifically Yahoo Japan auctions. So if you're curious and you want to like kind of dip your toe in or just like investigate, then you can check that video out. But I kind of been lurking on Mercari, and I don't know if Mercari is used outside of Japan. We don't have it here in Australia, but it's essentially just kind of like Depop. And I would say typically in terms of like brand name or like vintage stuff, if you have like specific kind of things you're on the hunt for, I would probably recommend Yahoo Japan auctions in the main, because a lot of the Yahoo Japan auctions sellers are actually just like vintage stores or consignment stores that also like sell online through there. Whereas like Mercari, it's a little bit more like just you and me users just selling things. It's like Depop. It's like Depop. So you can find like specific things on there, but in terms of like snapping up like specific like vintage deals and stuff, it's just like a little bit harder to like search for and like find more specific things that you're looking for. However, if you're into like specific Japanese fashion brands, Mercari is where it's at. It's like a gold mine. The only thing, again, drawback is it's kind of like Depop, where unlike Yahoo Japan auctions, where a lot of the time there's just like so much detail, they're listing like material content and sizes, like dimensions, measurements and everything. With Mercari, because it's user-based, some people just kind of like upload something without like much information, so you kind of have to like go hunting for the piece to find the info, you know what I mean? Like there's some really good stuff on there, but there were a few times where I found some J fashion pieces that I was really interested in, but like couldn't tell size wise if they would work for me, because for me it really depends with J fashion. Sometimes it can work out, other times not so much. But I managed to find 2 skirts on Mercari that I was particularly interested in. There were other things on there, but they just seemed a little too risky. But both of these, like the price was so good and they were so cute, and like I felt pretty confident that I had been able to find measurements, or I think maybe even they provided measurements. So I was like, okay, it's $10, let's give it a go. So the first skirt I found was this one, which is from a brand called Secret Honey. If you're into J fashion, you've probably come across Secret Honey before, because Secret Honey do all of these like really cute like cosplay collaborations with Disney. They're just, I don't know, I think they're really adorable. But I love like a preppy plaid princessy skirt, and this just like fits the bill, because so often, and also in the case of my wardrobe, for like wintry ones, they're always like black or like really dark colors. And again, I wear some black in my winter wardrobe, but I tend to like, you know, a bit of like a gray, a bit of some pinks. Like that's kind of the vibe we're going for. Like I enjoy sprinkling a little bit of black in and like mixing it in to kind of, you know, work with everything. But I still like to have some color and variety and whatnot in there to kind of like put with the black. And this is just like, it's perfect. Because other than, you know, the little bit of black in my winter wardrobe, I typically wear gray and pink and white. And what colors are this skirt? Gray and pink and white. I also just love the cut of this, in that it's like high-waisted and flares out, but it's not like a super flared pleat, because sometimes with like my shape and like the way my hips are, the pleats can kind of like sit a little awkwardly if it's like fully pleated from the top down. So I tend to like it to have like a little bit of a drape first before we get into the pleat. I just find that that looks better for me. And this skirt does that. So we still get like the preppy, pretty princessy flounce, but it also doesn't look like, you know, like a kind of wonky tutu. I'm not against a wonky tutu. I will wear the wonky tutu, but it's just something I've noticed. And also so commonly with these types of skirts is they'll have some kind of like polyester lining, and a lot of the time they are like almost a slip skirt, even if the skirt on top is like a flared skirt. I get that it's to protect you from like the wind and it's like a preference, I do get that. But then sometimes it means that even though the outer shell of a skirt will fit me, the like inner lining can be just like menace. But this one does have like, you know, the little polyester lining, but it's more flared. So it doesn't actually present those problems, but it's still like kind of attached to the top layer, which is quite heavy. So it like keeps it down in the wind. So yeah, buying like bottoms in Japanese fashion is very dicey for me. I usually don't even really try with shorts or pants. But yeah, these like trapezoid shaped skirts, which I suppose is just kind of like A-line, tend to be pretty solid bets for me. And yeah, I did use cotton as a search term and kind of paired it with a few different J fashion brands that I like. And I stumbled across this little gem. This one was about 1,000 yen, I think. So it was like 11 Australian dollars. It's from Rouge, which some of you might be familiar with. I did the lucky bag, which was just sort of moderately successful, unfortunately. But typically across Rouge's like catalog, there's lots of things that I like there. I just didn't happen to get the randomly generated items that I would like, which is fine, luck of the draw, moving on. And I just thought this skirt was just really cute and kind of gave like coquette, like vintage vibes, but also not like costumey, because sometimes I feel like when we sort of edge towards that like vintagey retro thing, for me, it just in my style, it just gets a little too costumey, and I purely mean that just like for my preferences. And I was a little bit nervous about the shape, but I think they did include like the measurements, or I at least found the measurements of the skirt from when it was like in stores. And because it was cotton tends to have like a little bit of a natural give to it, and it was like borderline, and I was like but I really liked it, so I gave it a go, and thankfully it does fit. It's definitely more of like a little bodycon kind of like flirty moment, but I don't mind that. I'm not opposed to it, but it has some like versatility for styling. I had it like set aside so I wouldn't like put it into my wardrobe and like forget to include it in the filming, so I haven't worn it yet, but I do need to put an outfit together with this because I just think it's so like cute. Even like with the little, you know, curtain bang high pony kind of vibe we have going on today, and like maybe a little colored cardigan. My brain, it's marinating. So many cute options, but yeah. Oh, I did have to mention, because I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, like 100% cotton, so cute. And guess what? If you're thinking, is there a polyester lining, you're correct. So I might potentially remove this polyester lining. Actually, as you can see from where I tried it on, the like string holding the lining to the skirt is just like hanging on by a thread. I don't know, maybe it's a bit see-through. I'll investigate and get back to you on that one, but I don't, why? Okay, and last but not least, I got, I would say like a little treat. It was kind of like a, you know, a dual reason treat, primarily because I needed to replace something that had been falling apart due to love and use. This card case is very cute. I got it on my, I want to say 18th birthday from my mum and my brother. It's just like a little Coach one. The color I think has gotten significantly darker and murkier, and you can kind of see on camera, but it's sort of like glittery with this stunning accent of wear and tear. This leather started peeling off like a couple months ago, but it's like my only card case like wallet that I have and have been using like every day for over 7 years. So I was like, okay, maybe just out of interest, let's just see what the options are. Like I found some really cute ones that range from being like a bit too expensive to like way too expensive for me that I liked the look of, but I was just like, like I don't like them that much for that much money. You know the vibe. And also the thing was, even if they were just like slightly expensive, like could be convinced kind of range of dollary dues, a lot of the time I was just kind of thinking like, I just chuck this into my tote bag or whatever bag I'm using, and it needs to be small and it needs to hold all my stuff. And I also, again, don't want to be like precious about it. And so somewhat miraculously, I found a piece that was very cute, was within my price range. And I felt that like buying it, I would feel comfortable putting through its purchases, because actually, just putting this together now, much like the backpack that I bought, it was also nylon. Like if my water bottle leaks because I like don't close the straw lid, which I've done multiple times because I'm a numpty, and it gets a little bit of water on it, I'm not gonna be worried, it's gonna be fine. Here it is. It's really cute. It's kind of like 2000s sort of vibe, I suppose, because Prada's come out with all of those kind of like 2000s like Y2K re-editions of their old like nylon bags. And while at this current stage in my life, I'm not really in the position where I feel comfortable spending near / over $1,000 for a nylon bag, spending around like 100 Australian on a little secondhand card case in like one of my favorite shades of like hot magenta pink that's like nylon and is like foldable so it can like hold all my little things. I'm just cautious about how far I open it in case of accidental doxing. I'm not really like a logo mania, like logo girly, except for like some specific circumstances. This little buddy is often black and silver or black and gold, but this one's like black and pink. So it's like monochrome, I don't know. And again, with travel, typically when I travel, I actually take this obviously because it has like all my cards and whatnot in it. But I also then have to take like a separate purse or something because I can't really put cash in here. But it's got a little section there for cash, which is handy, as well as like a little mini coin purse. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good find. I think it's like kind of pros and cons of liking more like brightly colored or like pastel things is that there's not as many listings of them on Yahoo Japan auctions, but also it's not as competitive. Like not gonna lie, there were some pretty cute Miu Miu card cases, but those were in hot contention. The girlies wanted them more than I did. But yeah, that's a little roundup of all the little bits and bobs I picked up via Buyee over the last few months. But let me know if you have used Buyee. I know some of my members on my Discord have been using Buyee. They've been like sharing their finds and stuff, and that's been so cute. So if you join my YouTube channel membership and become rat royalty, that's that's what we get up to and chat about, among other things, but that is a component. Thank you again to Buyee for working with me on this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!